Hello all, this is Neil Brockway. I'm the Relief Operation Director for DR 622-18. Those are the Connecticut storms that impacted the central and western part of the state on May 15th. So I'm going to provide you a quick operational briefing about the event and the related Red Cross response actions. The event took place during the afternoon and evening hours of May 15th. We had one macro burst and 4 tornadoes in a larger area of strong winds. The macro burst, which is defined as a significant downdraft of air. So I want you to think about it like if you're like a pitcher of water, and if you pour the pitcher of water out on the ground where the water is air, the strong air is pushed down to the ground and then spreads out when it hits the ground in really forceful, violent ways. Now, the macro burst is that strong, violent air moving out over a large geographic area. In this case, in New Fairfield and Brookfield, the wind's speed got up to around 110 miles per hour over an area about 3 miles long by 9 miles wide. So a very large-scale area was impacted by this extreme and violent winds, which downed trees, damaged houses, and unfortunately led to 2 people losing their lives. There was a tornado that touched down in Southbury and Oxford. It was about 400 yards wide and was on the ground for about 4.2 miles and had a maximum wind speed of about 100 miles per hour. The other tornadoes that we had were, there's a tornado in Beacon Falls and Hampton that had a wind speed of 110 miles per hour, was about 600 yards wide, and was on the ground for a little less than 10 miles. The other tornado was not on the ground that long, only less than a mile, but impacted a neighborhood in Winston. Had a max wind speed of about 90 miles per hour. There was another tornado that was visually seen over a reservoir, but made no direct contact with any homes or any land and caused no damage. So as you can see throughout the macro bursts and the tornadoes, one of the primary causes of damage were old hardwood trees, other pine trees that were brought down by these storms. And so there was significant damage throughout a number of communities, significant infrastructure damage to power poles, power lines, and then as you see here through some of these pictures, really old trees that were felled and broke through roofs and caused significant damage to a number of homes throughout these communities. So just some additional pictures. These are from the New Fairfield and Brookfield area that suffered from that large-scale macro burst of that downdraft of violent winds. You can see how the trees tore through homes, in one case almost flattening a home on the left, and in another case on the right, really shearing off part of that home. So a lot of people around the western and central part of Connecticut have been really impacted by this event. And so as soon as the event happened, and as soon as it was safe to do so, Red Crossers were out in the field providing services, and I'm going to share that with you right now. So our overall response actions for this event were the first priority was to make sure people had a safe place to stay. So we had shelters in operation in Brookfield. We also had a shelter in Southbury, and we have been supporting some community-run shelters in a number of different towns around central and western Connecticut. Our other priority is making sure people have meals and snacks, and so we've been working with our communities to ensure that food was provided in our shelters, and we've also been having our Red Cross emergency response vehicles, the ERVs, that have been out and about in communities, serving snacks, water, other types of materials to help people clean up. So as people are out there trying to clean up, trying to clear the debris off of their property, Red Cross is out there making sure they have water to drink, they've got snacks, they've got information about what's going on at the event. What we've experienced in this event is because of the damage to the power infrastructure, is cell networks are down in portions of western central New York. There's no power, so people can't get news. They don't know what's going on. And so in addition to the tangible items of water and food and a safe place where they can go, we're also helping to provide information about what's going on in the event. Because again, if people are they're cut off from the outside world in many circumstances, because they're just trying to, in some cases, get out of their driveways, get out of their homes that have so many trees that are down. And so we're trying to provide them with, again, not only snacks and water, but also with information. We're also transitioning into our recovery, so we want to be there to help help people recover, primarily the people that have sustained significant damage to their homes. We want to make sure that they are placed on a strong path to recovery, that they're engaged with their insurance if they have insurance, that we're there with them to help ensure that they have any mental health needs taken care of. If there's any financial assistance that we can offer, that we're there for them for that. But in order to do that, we have to have our disaster assessment complete. We have to know how they've been impacted, how the community's been impacted. So we have Red Crossers fanned out across these communities that are currently providing going door to door, providing damage assessment information to know how each home has been impacted by the event. And also vitally important for this response is our government coordination. So we've got Red Cross volunteers that are engaging with elected officials, with emergency management officials, with fire department officials, and are engaging to help ensure that the services we provide are done in a coordinated way with town officials. And so none of this, as I mentioned, can be done without volunteers. And so we're doing a big push this weekend on Saturday and Sunday for our damage assessment, trying to get more information about what's going on in the community, and also recovery. So we need additional individuals that can help provide services to people. So if you've gone out on a DAT response and opened a case, you can help on this event. If you're a member of Disaster Health Services, then we need your help. If you're a mental health professional, we need your help. If you can help us with logistics to help move supplies around, to help provide water, we need your help. So basically, if you are a Red Cross volunteer who is free this weekend, we need your help. And so in the email in which this video came, there was a link to sign up to submit your availability. So I encourage you, if you can come out to Central and Western Connecticut this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, sign up, submit your availability. And we have humanitarian relief work for you to do. As you can see through some of those pictures earlier in this presentation, these communities have been hit hard, and we need all the humanitarians we can get in order to ensure that we're providing people with good, solid services as they work to recover from this significant event. And finally, just to thank you. Thank you for being humanitarians. Thank you for signing up to help support your fellow New Englanders. So I encourage you, again, sign up in that link to volunteer this weekend, and I hope to see you out there. Thank you all very much.